So this all came about. I was cleaning the manure in here because Montaro's got a flare-up of the inflammation, laminitis type symptoms. So I put him in here with Zoe for company, and he's got only low sugar hay. He's got it there, he's got it there, and in another hay net up there. There's water over there, and there's also natural groundwater right there. So as I was clearing the manure today, I said to Montaro, I'm like, you know, health is about having all the elements you need to be healthy. It's not about germs or bacterias, or like, those are like the cleanup crew after we're already in a diseased state. And you have everything here that you need on this land, especially now that we've spent 3 years healing this land. So of all this stinging nettle here, I asked which plants wanted to come to be offered to Montaro and to see if it will help him. And I did have my own prejudice. There's a stream down there and I didn't really want to cross it. So I was like, if it could be one of you guys that's closer, that would be great. And this stand said yes, and they looked, they've got some that have been quite eaten into, but I took the healthy ones and I asked permission first. And I cut until the plant told me stop, and then I moved to a new spot. And then thistle, which was right here, poked me, and I said, are you the thistle I should take? And it said yes. So that's where I got the thistle from. And we will see what of this Montaro will eat. And, you know, obviously the stinging nettle has to wilt to get the sting to go away. But it'll be interesting to see if he will touch the thistle while it's fresh, or if he'll touch it at all. But we'll offer, and then his body wisdom will tell him what to do. All right, Taro. So I see I could also hang it from this railing here. So I'm gonna feel for whether he wants me to put it inside the shelter, in the shade. Yeah, he says yeah. He sent me a picture of the sun bleaching it, like bleaching the nutrients out of it. Too harsh, too fast. So, Tara, look what I have. I have wild mint, and I have thistle. Oh, you do want that thistle. Thistle knew what you needed. Here, let me separate it out. There we go, that's just the thistle. Oh, so he really wanted the thistle. All right, well, I know what I'm getting more for you tomorrow. This is wild mint. All your medicines, everything are out there. So why are you in this state? What part of you still needs this? What are you refusing to let go of? What part of you, and of course the part of him that still needs it is the part of him that still needs healing. So what healing do you need? It just is not making sense to me. All of the horses here at Singing Horse Ranch are able to trim their own hooves using the rock and gravel that is everywhere. And when I had the horses down in the Lower Mainland in a domestic environment, I put in gravel areas and walking tracks, and they were able to trim their own hooves there. But when Montaro gets in this state where he can't walk or move properly, he's not able to trim his hooves. But his hooves are so hard that we have to use this reciprocating saw to cut through them, and it's still really hard. Of course, even if he did want to lift his legs are too sore for him to stand on 3 legs. So that's the other reason we're using the reciprocating saw and, cutting down into some soft bedding so that he can stay standing on 4 legs, which is painful enough for him as it is. Oh, Taro, that's so much better. Look at that. He's saying to me, go do the medicine cards. So I'm going to, and I have a blog post on this, how to use medicine cards with your horse, with your animals, use it with your family, your kids. But it's basically holding an intentional space, using a meditative or a deep breathing technique to drop your own nervous system, to ground yourself into the earth, to enter stillness and calmness, and then ask your deck, what message does Montaro have? What does Montaro want me to know? And you can make it like I could say about this inflammation issue, or about why he's still got this thing. I could then drill down into a whole bunch of questions. But I think with him, what I'm feeling is I'm going to start with just a really broad question of what does Montaro want me to know? Okay, so I've come straight in. Montaro is just straight out here, and I've come straight in from the arena. Haven't even changed my clothes or anything. I just washed my hands because I'm going to stay in this space of him asking me to ask the cards. And his suggestion was that I film it so you guys could see and kind of feel what that looks and feels like. So I have a whole bunch of card decks. I went to my little cupboard where I keep them, and I felt for which ones would be good to choose from today. So we have the Enchanted Map, the Energy Oracle cards, and Oracle of the Unicorns. And these were the 3 that jumped out to me. So got a little table here, keep them on there. And I'm just I can see Montaro from here, which is nice, but I wouldn't need to. I could just So I'm imagining white light coming in through the top of my head, flowing down my body, my arms, my throat, swirling around my chest, swirling my body, down both my legs, out the soles of my feet, down, down, down into Mother Earth. I'm going down, I'm saying hello to the tree roots, I'm keeping going, I'm going all the way to the magma at the center of the earth. And as this beautiful divine white light streams into me, I ask God, Creator Source, to send it at the perfect light frequency for me at this time. I am anchored. I am whole. As above, so below. Okay. So you take however long it takes for you to get grounded and connected and into that space of stillness. Little from Montaro and Zorra outside, responding to the drop in my energy, my connection. So now I ask Montaro. Montaro entered this circle with me with the cards, so I'm now imagining there's a circle here, and Montaro is walking into my circle. And I'm seeing about where Zoe wants, and she's come up to the edge of the circle, but she's going to stay outside of it. And yes, this is imagination. This is the language of spirit. So we give ourselves permission. We tell our critical, skeptical mind to go sit down in the back corner of the brain. You can come forward. You're very important. We love you. We welcome you, but you don't speak till the end. You don't speak till we're done. And then you come back into the front and center and you have at it. But for now, Just go sit down in the back corner. Thank you. I appreciate you. We are running with imagination. We are running with spirit. We are running with energy right now. And so Montaro is inside my circle. Zorra is standing just outside of it. Taro. I acknowledge my frustration. I acknowledge my impatience. I acknowledge my resentment, my anger. Suddenly I feel thirsty. I am gonna go and get some water because all of this energetic work, we are an electromagnetic body. And so if we are at all dehydrated or in need of water, will just help everything flow better and move much more fluidly through our energy system, our meridian system with our chi and our acupuncture points. So I'm gonna go get some water. So also notice that when we're in that grounded, connected, peaceful place, our nervous system is dropped, we can also hear our body a whole lot better in that state. And that's when my body was like, water. So, all right, so back to Montaro. Which deck are we feeling? Oh, interesting. We're feeling the Oracle of the Unicorns. Interesting. This is by Cordelia Francesca Brabs. She said she struggled for a long time not to do this deck because the unicorns are like, yeah, unicorns. And she finally gave in. And we have this beautiful gift from her. So if this was not my deck, I would hold it in my right hand and I would knock on it 3 times with my left hand to send everybody else's energy out. Or if someone had used my deck, I would do that before I used it. So connecting to Montaro, asking for, so it's already happened. So for me, there are many methods of choosing cards. Some people, you know, will spread them out and then pick one, the one they feel drawn to. My son says it's like a heat map. And he can, as he puts it, he feels which card feels the hottest. That's pretty cool, hey? For other people, they'll just shuffle while they ask the question and then they'll cut the deck and that's their card. For me, the method that I love the most is I shuffle until a card literally jumps out of the deck. And that happened right away. So, message from Montaro. Intuition. Listen to the whispers of your heart. Use divination tools to help you decide, which is what we're doing. Trust your intuition no matter what. Powerful. So when I look it up and I go, well, what's the bigger part of that here? And so what I'm looking at in the description in the booklet is, what do I feel a click or a zing or some juice around? The answers you seek in this situation can best be found by turning within, asking for guidance from your heart, or using a divination tool to access your inner wisdom. Do not rely on any outside source or your conscious mind to give you the information you really need. Listen for that quiet whisper from within. Practice feeling the energy of your different options and choose the one which feels lightest. Okay, so I love this. I love this teaching that Montaro is giving all of us. This is a very powerful technique when you're trying to decide between two, is you just simply ask yourself, which one feels heavy? Which one feels light? You know, should I go to the cabin for the weekend? Does it feel heavy? Does it feel light? Right? So that takes away our judgments and our shoulds and just puts us into that energetic, intuitive feeling state, heavy or light. So practice feeling the energy of your different options. And for me, feeling the energy of my option often involves visual pictures. So like if I would have an option of saying, okay, Montaro, I'm just gonna turn you out of the arena, but I will make your supplements and your thistle and whatever herbs you need available to you. And I picture myself doing that. I see him not leaving the gate. I get an instant, nope, not at this time. When I imagine keeping him in there until the pallet of hay that I bought has run out, I feel a yes. When I picture myself going out and finding him medicines from the land as directed by him, and really importantly, what happened today, Montaro did not ask me for thistle. Thistle told me, take me for Montaro, because this is a really important thing that happens not just for animals, but for us people too. This is why it's really ideal if you can have your own garden, because the plants that are in your garden or on your land are linking, resonating, and interfacing with your energy. And those plants know what we need. And so this may sound absolutely insane, but science is going to follow this. The plants in our garden will change the amount of nutrients, like how much vitamin A, how much quercetin, how much, according to what our body requires, because their vibration is in tune with our vibration. And they're like, ooh, you're lacking that. Let me produce more of that for you. And again, as long as it's in the soil and your plants are healthy, they can do that for you.
And there's been an effort to re-educate people about the value of growing your own food, because plants are conscious as well. And when your energy field is washing over them, as you walk along the garden path, let's say, those plants are assessing your energy field. What does he need? What does she need? And they shift their chemistry to boost the people that take care of them. Wow. And that is not, you're not going to get that when you are shipping food from Chile.
So just like the land has been healing itself, because the plants that are needed for the land will just appear. They'll come out of the seed bank. They'll blow in from elsewhere. The same thing happens with our physical bodies. So super important for us to grow our own food if we can. And no judgment on anybody for that. And even if you just, like I have a little planter on my deck, and I just plant herbs. And I've had some potatoes that sprouted and an onion that sprouted, so I'm going to pop them in there. Like, it doesn't have to be a big deal. Anything that you grow, that the plant can respond to you, and also the plants in the house. This is a whole separate topic. We could go on for ages about how much scientists have discovered plants are in communication and responsive relationship with us. But we'll save that. There's tons of videos out there, lots of books. Let's keep going. The more you tune in and listen, the more you will recognize the ways in which your inner guidance shows itself to you. It may feel like a soft, deep knowing or a light, loving energy. It is important to trust that your higher self can see the bigger picture and knows exactly how to guide you, even if it doesn't make sense. So that's hitting me really hard in this situation, because I've been really sitting a lot in frustration and why, and this makes no sense, instead of moving into that. Because I just look at them like, what are we doing here? Why are we doing this? This is beneath you. You don't need to be ill. I am a medicine woman in multiple lifetimes. Whatever you need, I can give to you. This situation should not be happening. Should, right? Judgment. Instead of going, well, this is so interesting. This is the most bizarre thing. And it's still, so let's just, and I guess a part of me is really tired of this issue. Like, this is the 3rd year. It's like, can we be done with this? But obviously not. So, and what's happening right here today and what I'm sharing with you here today, that's reason enough for him to be in there. just this right here is reason enough for him to be in there. So I surrender. I am surrendering to my higher self and my higher knowing. The answer you get back may not be the easiest or the most logical, and your mind may try to rationalize a different option. Ask the unicorns to hold you in a clear space whilst you seek true guidance, and have the faith and courage to follow it no matter what. All right. So thank you, Montaro. That was a beautiful message to start this session. And now I'm going to, so what I do with my cards is, so this deck, I think I'm done with it. I put it back in. I'll put it back in, but I leave the card that I picked right on top. So in case I need to go back to it, I can. And I just put that aside. Okay, I'm feeling like there's more messaging.
A great idea. Let her pick a card.
Yeah.
I tossed them, I put the cards out, and I asked her to pick. And this horse went and put her muzzle on one card.
I love
like
it.
That.
So I'm going to drop back into that listening space. I'm going to revisualize that perfect light frequency flowing through my body. Down deep, touching into the pool of magma at the center of the earth. Boy, that feels good. Montaro, is there anything else that you want me to know about this issue? That's interesting. As I was asking, I was feeling Zorra coming forward. So let me feel into whether Zorra wants to speak first. Okay, no, she's just saying, don't forget about me. Okay. So Tara, I feel like we're not done. I feel like you've got more to say. It's interesting. I just felt a question from him. Do you want a message for the viewers of this video, or do you want a message from me? Well, of course I want both, but which one? No, I'm going to stick with the container that I've set here, which is me understanding why someone of your power and magnificence and connection to God, Creator, Source is in this laughably reduced state. Why are you doing this? And is this a good idea that you're doing this, or is this a sign of trauma or lack that needs to be addressed that I'm not aware of? That's my question that I'm asking you, Montaro. So when I feel for the deck, I feel like I'm done with the unicorn cards. I'm now feeling between these two and this one, the Energy Oracle by Sandra Ann Taylor is what comes forward. I'm asking him, like, don't flip the card too soon. Just give it some time. Like that, that was close. So answering, so the question that I'm repeating in my head, so as you shuffle, you repeat the question. I want to know what a magnificent being like you is doing in this state. Is there something unhealed? Is there something you need that I can help you with? Is this your own journey? Why is someone as magnificent as you in such a reduced state? This is interesting. I'm getting almost answers. Oh, you want me to show a different way to, well, that could be a different way to pick. No, I don't feel like that's what you want to say. I'm wondering if Montaro wants me to show a different way to pick the cards other than having them jump out. So, okay, so that's twice that the card flipped, and it is the same card. So yes, we will take that card. It is number 12, the Temple Path. And it's interesting, the reason I didn't take this the first time it flipped is that another card had flipped with it, and the other card I felt was not meant to be. So I just put it back in. But then exactly the same card flipped again. So then I know, okay, you do want to speak. All right, Taro, I'm listening. So, number 12, the Temple Path. Spiritual purpose and support. Receiving this card, so this again is what Montaro wants me to know about why someone of his power and magnificence is in this state. Why I look at him like, dude, you could heal yourself in about 5 seconds flat. Why are you doing this? Okay, spiritual purpose and support. Receiving this card represents your own spiritual evolution. The winding path you are on leads to a blessed temple in a lovely garden, symbolizing the spiritual destiny your soul has had in mind for this lifetime. Okay, so wait, I just realized for a lot of these decks, they mean one thing when the card is upright and they mean something else when it's upside down. They call this reversed. Now, when this flipped in the deck, I know it flipped like this because I could read the Temple Path. So the message from Montaro is not this way, it's this way. It's the Temple Path reversed. So I'm gonna jump to the reversed, and then we can also read the upright for more information or just like another perspective. So receiving this card reversed is a sign that you may have fallen off your path. You could be too focused on worldly possessions and material gain, or you may simply be maintaining old, unhealthy habits of fear, limitation, worry, or doubt. Whatever is distracting you, receiving this card reversed is a firm message that it's time to make your spiritual life and evolution a much higher priority. Not doing so represents an important loss of power. So clear your mind, meditate, and open up to the presence of spirit. Whatever else you may have going on, consider this an important part of your personal and tactical plans. The support and inspiration of all eternity and countless loving spirits are available to you. Not turning to them is like cursing the dark when you refuse to turn on the lights. So my first question is this a message to Montaro about why he is in this state? Is Montaro maintaining old unhealthy habits of fear, limitation, worry, or doubt? Maybe there could be some echoes of that. But I don't think so. What's coming forward much more strongly for me is that he's come here next to the house because this message is for me. And so this brings up a really important point, that this spiritual path and ability to be distracted by third dimension life. And that always happens here at the ranch because there's so many, oh, it's macaw. There's so many physical things that macaw. Light and dark macaw has the ability to cross dimensions. He has a brown eye and a blue eye. Makamape means earth sky. So again, a reinforcement of that message that, yeah, the challenge of being here on earth is we have to exist in 2 dimensions at the same time. We have to be fully here. I have to run this ranch. I have to run logistics. The horses have to have water. The land needs, all the stuff that happens here. The irrigation has to get fixed. But at the same time, I have to live in the higher dimensions. Otherwise, what am I doing here? And, the thing that's been weighing really heavily on me, just released a podcast on this, is this quest for the elephant, whale, dolphin sanctuary, where, the horses, the elephants, the whales, the dolphins, all of the sea creatures, all of the soil microbes can sing together at a frequency to actually shift this frickin' planet that is in so much trouble right now. And so I've had this vision, I don't even know how long it's been, maybe 6 years, of making that happen. And I just came off of 4 months living out of a suitcase, looking for the land. Where's the oceanfront land where I can make this happen? And how am I going to financially afford this? And then it's been interesting because since I've been back here at the ranch, I'm like, I can't. I don't, is there another way to do that? Because I have so much, I feel like I'm at maximum capacity here with everything that I currently have. I feel like if I try to take on another sanctuary, another for rescue elephants, that doesn't feel safe to me. I feel like I'm gonna be like Montaro. I'm gonna be in that physical condition if I try to take that on, because it'll just be pushing my incarnated physical body too far. And so I've been asking a lot of questions like, well, can this be done a different way? Can I have some additional support? Can the elephants belong to someone else and I just show up? And so, and working and do the thing that I'm called to do, when Kalia started this all off, when she said, go and sing to the earth. And I was like, what does that mean? And that's in the apprenticeship program. That started this whole journey of sound frequencies and how that interfaces with Mother Earth, with Gaia. So whatever is distracting you, receiving this card reversed is a firm message that it's time to make your spiritual life and evolution a much higher priority. Not doing so represents an important loss of power. So clear your mind, meditate, and open up to the presence of spirit, which of course I do, but we can always do more, like the horses must meditate for 30, sometimes 40% of their day. What percentage of my day do I meditate for? Nowhere near that much. So I think what I feel right now very strongly from Montaro, he just sent me a picture of, there's places on the land that I go that I have my very potent meditation spots. And he's like, you need to go there. I mean, I've been home, how long have I been home? Not quite a month. And I haven't gone to any of those spots and meditated. So that shows you I am not making my spiritual life and evolution a priority, because I've been here almost a month and I haven't done that. So thank you, Montaro. I receive your message. I feel like this video is getting long, but Zoe's like, I'm still here. So let's take the time to do one for Zorra. Just whatever she would like to say to me or to us. And Zorra, which deck do you want, honey? She's like, the unicorns, of course, because I'm a unicorn. All right, yes, you are. Zorra just had a bit of a transformative experience being here in the arena. Because she was here, I had the vet come out and check her teeth because it's been a while since her last tooth check and she had some sharp points. And so the vet uses a headgear and a power float. And her old owner had said she hates having her teeth, and you could just see her anxiety. And so I just anchored her and I did some tapping for her, some acupressure tapping for her on the terrible fear, the anxiety, the past trauma. And then I just moved into a space of going Zoe and basically teaching her the technique that I use to have my dental work done with no anesthetic. I've had teeth pulled, I've had crowns, I've had jaw surgery, all with no anesthetic. And so I was walking her through that technique, but they had to sedate her hard, which the vet doesn't like to do, but she just couldn't. Her resistance, her terror was so high. But the vet was so lovely. And the vet assistant was so beautiful. And they had this soft, grounded energy, which I think for Zorra to experience, a vet and a vet tech with that energy alone was transformational. I was so thankful to these women for holding this just goddess, queenly space for Zoe and giving her a new experience, a different reality. So she's just gone through that. She kind of wanted me to bring that forward. And I felt like, I think her next teeth filing is not going to go like that. Maybe she'll just need a really light sedation for the next one. So, all right. So what message do you have? Either for me. Okay. So that one almost flipped. Is that one? Yes. I feel like she said yes. And we'll see if this is for me or for us. Ooh, this is an interesting card. Anger. Safely express your anger. Use anger as a positive force. Honor all of your emotions as sacred. So that's super interesting too, in light of the story I just told you, where, yeah, she was pretty angry at being put in that headgear and sedated and all the rest of it. And then part of what I described about this situation with Montaro, I said, I'm frustrated, I'm angry, I'm resentful. So here we go. Message for all of us, perhaps. And this, again, we did draw this one upright. You may feel angry at yourself, another person, or with a situation in your life, but feel it is somehow unspiritual to express your rage. This fire unicorn is charging in to assure you that anger is not a negative energy. It has as much purpose and value as kindness or love. Feeling or expressing anger is not unspiritual. It is sacred to honor your emotions, and anger can be the fire you need to pull you out of a swamp of lethargy, hopelessness, or doubt. Anger can be the force that helps you overcome fear and take action. It can be the surge of power you need to finally set a boundary and say no to someone or something that is disempowering you. Anger can also be the key to unlocking deeper fears and being free of the wounds that lie beneath them. Anger is only dangerous when you repress or deny it. Just like a volcanic lava flow, if it builds up, it can be a destructive force when it finally erupts. This fire unicorn wants you to acknowledge your anger. Get to the heart of what is upsetting you and let yourself be angry. Feel it and revel in its messy beauty. Dance, stomp, and roar from your anger. Pummel the cushions, scream out all your fury. Give yourself permission to fully feel, unleash, and release your anger. So long as you are not misdirecting your anger at anyone else, it can be empowering. So take note, everything's been said here. This is an inside job. This is not about going to someone or doing this in front of someone. This is about us and our internal state, our self, our expression, our emotions, our feelings. Give yourself permission to fully feel, unleash, and release your anger. So long as you are not misdirecting your anger at anyone else, it can be empowering. Use it to fill yourself with life force and to move forward out of denial and repression. There is a wildness and beauty in your anger, and it can be such a gift when you see it as sacred. So if that hit hard for you, maybe rewind that section of the video, close your eyes and listen to that again and see what's coming forward for you and where that's hitting you. I'm definitely going to go into that, and I see myself like going to one of my meditation spots. This is part of the reason I love being out here in the middle of nowhere. Like, I can do whatever I want. Nobody sees me, nobody hears me. It's just the most amazing liberation. As I'm thinking of it, I'm like, yeah, I'm angry, and some people are coming to mind, and some relationships are coming to mind, and I'm like, oh, there's a whole bunch of stuff here that I have not unpacked, that I haven't really even been acknowledging, because we tell ourselves, well, it'll work out, or, well, there's two sides to every story, but again, like it says, that I'm dishonoring my emotions. It doesn't matter that this other person is also justified and that this other person has gone through really bad times and terrible times. My emotions matter. My reality matters. And I tend to repress all that down and go, well, someone's got to be the bigger person here, so I guess it's going to be me. And so, and that's okay in the relationship maybe, but it's not okay for me with me. I have to, what I'm getting from this card from Zoe, thank you, Zoe, thank you so much, is that I need to express all of those feelings authentically with myself, by myself, first, instead of just going, yeah, okay, let's move to being the bigger person. Let's move to being the more mature person. No, that can all come later. What I'm not doing is I am not creating a space for me to just, oh, beautiful duck just flew by. A wild duck going to land on the water hole. So when things like that happen, in the context that every one of us right now should go and pause and go look up the meaning of wild duck. It's, the duck you see in North America with the green and the rings around its neck. We should go and look that up, because that medicine of duck is directly part of this conversation we're having here. So,
okay, this is from whatismyspiritanimal.com. A flying duck means liberation, often having to do with your spiritual journey. If you see a duck walking, swimming, and flying, it expresses your flexibility and talents, which sometimes you doubt. Celtic stories portray duck as honest and resourceful. Because they live on the land, in water, and fly, duck represents transitions. And because ducks have built-in honing abilities, they symbolize moving through the waters of change, always knowing where you're going. Duck indicates your prayers are not simply being heard, but an answer is on the horizon. Sometimes people neglect self-care, including spiritual nurturing. One of duck's lessons is remaining protective of your sacred self. Attend to your needs. Despite your passion for helping others, you must keep your inner well full. Don't keep extending yourself to those who take but never give back. Okay, so if all that weren't tremendously applicable, check out this next piece, because it gets even crazier. Feng Shui uses duck images to strengthen and heal intimate relationships and secure fidelity. The best placement is the southwestern areas of your home. The ducks should face each other for the best flow of chi, which is the life force energy. Okay, look at this picture of this pair of ducks. Yes, they are in a southwest area here at the ranch. This picture was taken on June 23rd, but they were placed like this months ago, maybe up to 6 or 8 months. I'm telling you, you just cannot make this stuff up. I hope this has given you a tool to use for your own spiritual growth and evolution, also for enhanced communication with your animals. So thank you, Montaro. Thank you, Zorra. So this is where I've been sitting. And this is, when I keep looking out here, this is where the horses and the sheepies are. And Zorra's all the way down that end. I can just barely see the tip of her bum sticking out, but this is how close they've put themselves to me. Yeah. And this is my view. The amazing, incredible, beautiful Singing Horse Ranch that my husband tried to get me to sell. I don't know how many times, tried to get me not to buy. Do I still have anger? Oh, yes, I think I do. And the rest of the horses are, oh, there they are. You can start to see them. There's Kalia. Yes, Taro. So I said to Taro, if you want to come in here and I'll give you some supplements, I need you beside the gate. Like, I'm not going to stand there for an hour while you gradually make your way down, because it's still really ouchy for him to walk. Which is why I'm trying to get him in here so I can give him more regular supplements. And I'm really happy that none of the other horses are hanging around, because Mama and Juno were really trying to get in here before. He says to me, he's like, don't film me. And I'm like, well, you need to tell the truth. If this is what's happening to you, for whatever reason, you need to tell the truth about it. Yeah, Zozie, you've already had your supplements, haven't you? Are you going to come in, Taro? He's like, I don't want to be separated from the herd. Oh, Taro. Hey? Hey? Yeah. You going to come in? Receive whatever healing is here for me at this time. You need to stay away from me. You need to stay away from me. Oh, that was some hit to the left side of my face. Right on the cheekbone. And it feels like it's shifted. My nose, it didn't hit my nose, but it's like the bones have shifted. My teeth are sore on that side. At first I thought she might have broke my jaw. My jaw's fine. Okay, so here's a screenshot from the video just before Zorra smashed the side of her head into the side of my head. You can see from the shadow on Montaro, I am nowhere near Zorra's head. For her to hit me like that, when Montaro asked her to move, instead of just moving away, she stepped forward and then swung into me. So the hit was very intentional on their part. Let's keep going as I unpack this. It was an almighty whack. The left side is the feminine, it's the intuition, it's the listening. And as I've been unpacking it, and whenever things like this happen, I say, I receive whatever healing is here for me in this moment. I receive whatever messages are being sent and delivered. And the thing that came up for me through my
anger and my tears and my shock was that it's too much. Like running this ranch with all the horses and the sheep and the dogs and the land, and then the thought of having to take on an elephant sanctuary as well, and a whole other massive property with all the people. Like, there's a lot of workers and contractors that you have to hire when you're managing ecosystems, and caregivers, and then managing the properties and the animals' needs when you're away, because I would have to spend half the year at each property, and it's just like, it's too much. I can't do it. Don't ask this of me. And then as I felt that before, and then I've always said, but there's no other option. But what if there is? You know, I've just been listening to podcasts on biofield tuning, and I've booked myself 2 sessions because I believe that we're all connected through the ether. If someone can physically work on me with sound frequencies from a remote location, why can't I work with elephants and whales from a remote location? Why do I have to be there physically, in person? Maybe that's an old idea. Maybe I got that idea wrong. Because I mean, I will be there. So what I'm seeing is that, yeah, I saw myself there in the visions. So I assumed that meant I would be there personally and physically. But I can be there. My whole self can be there through the ether. I don't have to move my physical body there. And so in that way, I can work with wild elephants. I don't need to, because the other thing was, well, maybe somebody else could have the elephants. But the way most people care for animals, they put them on pharmaceuticals and they disempower them, and then the animal can't function properly. And so that's why I was thinking that I had to have the elephants. But if I work with wild elephants, part of me is already, I was born in Africa. I already have a piece of my energy field active there, 100%. So that's a very easy link for me to make. And maybe I just work remotely. And I work with the wild elephants. And then they call the whales. They go to the cliff sides. In South Africa, there's cliffs that overlook the ocean. And parts of Kenya too. And they call the whales. And we just hold the space for that here on this ranch. This is the vibrational space that we've spent 3 years clearing and cleansing and setting up and tuning the vibration of this land. And we access, this becomes then the nexus that we reach out to all the other points through the ether. Ian and I were talking quite seriously of Costa Rica. And so this is a very strong hit. This is a very strong slap to the left intuitive side. Wake up. Listen. Listen. There's something you're not hearing. There's something you're not perceiving. Which doesn't mean that we can't go somewhere for the winters. But we don't need an elephant sanctuary. We just need, a healthy place to live for the winter months. Get us out of the snow, because we're done with that. So I open to that message, to that wisdom. And they're also saying to me, if Ian cannot be here, just like Montaro is struggling here every spring for a couple of months. It's a good long two months at least. Montaro is like Ian. And maybe we've done the work that we need to do here. This land has been healed, it's been balanced, it's been tuned. And maybe we're supposed to go somewhere else and move the horses again. Somewhere Ian feels right. And then maybe Montaro will come right. It's not about supplements and healings. It's that this is not right for Ian. And I don't know whether Montaro is reflecting Ian or Ian and Montaro are just feeling the same thing, but either way, one could say the message was the same. So as I receive these messages, I give the physical reality permission to lift off my body and float away. If I have received what I need to receive, I don't need the physical repercussions. And I envision the trauma of that hit, the physical impact. I wish to keep the positive adjustments that were made to my skull bones, my cranial rhythms, my jaw, the structure of my spine, any related viscera and fascial. I retain any benefits that were given through this adjustment, and I release any and all physical pain and trauma that is ready and able to be released right now. And so it is. That's an interesting sounding bird. Don't know what that is. Well, I'm getting cold now. Weather's just turned. Zorra is still deep in meditative state, so is Montaro. So what happened there was I was moving closer to Montaro and to touch Montaro, and Montaro told Zorra to move away, so he jutted his nose at Zorra, and Zora's response was to wheel suddenly to the left, and as she wheeled to the left, her face smashed into my left cheekbone and sent me spinning away. I thought she's actually going to lay me out flat, but I didn't fall. I probably because I let myself go with the movement, and I spun away, and you know, the momentum carried me a few steps away, and then I immediately stopped, and she kept coming towards me. So I immediately stopped, and I said, I surrender to whatever healing is here in this moment. But she kept walking towards me. And so then my anger came up. Like, have you not just effing done enough to me? So I was like, my anger just rose up, and I was like, get away from me. And then she walked away, and she stood next to Montaro here. And then I continued the rest of my process, where I open to receive whatever healing, I open to receive the messages. I affirm that life is happening for me, not to me, and that every single thing that happens is for my highest good. So what just happened here that I needed to have happen? This was a major effing wake-up call, and super important for her to hit me that hard. So I'm bringing that amount of gravity to the issue. She could have hit me lightly. She could have just stepped on me, or no, this is like taking a backspin kick in martial arts. That's how hard that hit was. Last time I took one of those, I started losing consciousness. Like, it's a hard hit. So I understand and I receive the gravity of the message. This is not a small message. It is not of small importance. It's a big effing message. And I will give it that weight and consequence. And now I think I will get Montaro's feed dish and put it out here where he wants it, and I will stop this illusion that this is something that can be healed physically, and we will work on this at the energetic plane. And not surprisingly, not coincidentally, Ian has been in bed all day today. So he doesn't feel well, but I can tell he's also working through some really deep stuff. So I think that this message is very timely. So I need to go back in. I need to talk to him. I need to tell him what just happened here and the things that it's making me think about and the perspective shifts and the new options that are opening up. And there's Eagle. Eagle, which is all about pulling back, taking a look at the big picture, looking from the view of Great Spirit, looking from that perspective. Thank you, Eagle. The sheep yelling away, calling their babies. We've had 2 new lambs born this morning, so that makes 7 new little lambs. And I was supposed to have none because I castrated the males, but obviously I failed. So just throw that into the pot. Here's the rest of the horses, just down here holding space, but not crowding up at the gate. So Mama and Sione were very deep, holding space as I came over the rise. But the rest of them are all here. And so now she's going to make her way up. So that makes me want to go close the gate because I need to keep them out of here. It's spring, they're itchy, and they're rubbing on the trucks, and they're gonna rub off my side mirrors or something. So I need